Hey everybody, Dave here with Wags Automotive. And you ever wonder why the small block Chevy engine is so popular? And actually the big block too, because it mimics the small block. Small block came out first. Let me show you something here. Here's something very interesting about the small block Chevy engine. You may not know, you may know, I don't know. But anyhow, so the firing order on a small block Chevy and a big block Chevy is 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2, okay? And now, the way the cylinders are laid out on this is the odd side, this is the even side. So, if you can look right there and then come across here, if you notice, I don't know if you can tell or not, but try to get up here. So this cylinder here is just a little bit ahead of that one. So that's why this one's number 1. So this is 1, 3, 5, and 7, okay? And over here, of course, we have the evens, 2, 4, 6, and 8. All right. Now, if you look at this engine, the way I got it positioned right now, if you notice, these two pistons are almost identical in their place in the cylinders. And these two pistons are also almost identical in their cylinders. And if we go over to the other side, if you look, these two pistons are almost identical in their cylinders, and these two pistons are almost identical in their cylinders. Now, why is that? Well, I can tell you. So let's take this paper I just had and let's flip it over. So the 350 engine was actually designed to basically be two 4-cylinder engines coupled together. So again, the firing order is 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2, okay? Now, if we look at that and we circle these four, 1, 8, 6, and 5, that's one side, or that's one engine. 4, 3, 7, and 2 is the other engine. Now, if we look at this engine, 1, 8, 6, 5, okay. There's number 1. There's number 8. There's number 6. And there's number 5. All 4 of those pistons are in the same position. So two of them are getting ready to fire. 2 of them just fired. 2 of them are getting ready to go on the exhaust stroke, and 2 just finished the exhaust stroke. So you've got 4 pistons, and one's on a compression stroke, one's on the exhaust stroke, and the other 2 are coming down from the compression and the exhaust stroke. Now, if you look at the other side, 4, 3, 7, 2, okay? 4, 3, 7, and 2. And again, all 4 of these pistons are in the same spot in the cylinder, okay? So again, you've got the same thing. You've got 4 pistons here that are on, well, none of these are on the compression or exhaust stroke. They're actually finishing those, either finishing or starting them. So these are almost at the top of the cylinder. These 4 here, these 2 and those 2, and these 2 and those 2 are almost at the bottom of the stroke. So the way they designed this engine was you've got every 90 degrees, and actually if you look at this cam gear, there's your timing mark right there. Somebody actually marked it every 90 degrees. So every 90 degrees, you got 2 pistons on top dead center. So you've got 1 piston on the compression stroke and 1 piston on the exhaust stroke. But also you've got 2 pistons that are coming down. So if I were to turn this engine to where, say, this piston here was all the way to the top, its companion, which is number 6, would be all the way to the top, and one of them would be on the compression stroke. One of them would be on the compression stroke, and one of them would be on the exhaust stroke. But if I did that, 8 and 5, which is 8 and 5, which is this one and that one, they would be further down the cylinder, so they'd be finishing up either the exhaust or compression stroke. So the way this engine was designed it was designed so that every 90 degrees, a cylinder is either firing or on the exhaust stroke. And that's why the Chevrolet V8 engine is so popular, and why it has lasted for, I mean, they still make it now in different versions. You know, it's obviously the LS engine is a newer version of that. But, I mean, they started making this engine in I think it was 54 or 55, they started making this engine, and it was a 265 to start out with, and it went all the way up to a 400 cubic inch. So 265, 327, wait, 305, 307, okay, I got to go back again. 265, 283, 305, 307, 327, 350, and the 400. So they made several versions of this engine, and it's been in existence for, you know, over 50 years as this model, and then the redesigned model. Well, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't 50 years. About 40 years. In the late 70s, they started changing this thing, and they made what's called the Vortec engine. But the Vortec engine was actually this engine. Just it had a roller cam in it and was upgraded, so it was actually the same engine. But again, this is a very popular engine. But that's the reason why this engine is so popular, is because, and why it runs so well, and why people like it so much, because it's basically two 4-cylinder engines coupled together, and the way they designed it that way, so it runs very smoothly. It's got a very smooth idle, very smooth acceleration, things like that. You know, and a lot of the other engines were kind of designed after this one. So, you know, they had the flathead engines before this, of course, but, you know, when the overhead valve engines like this one came out, the Chevrolet, the small block Chevy, topped the pile, baby, because it was, you know, easy to build. Parts for it were cheap. They probably made over 1 billion of them in their lifetime. And, you know, I just thought it'd be something cool you guys might want to know. So there's some facts for you about the 350 engine. You may not know it. Maybe you know it. Maybe you don't care. I don't know. But I just thought it was kind of fascinating that you can actually see by looking at this thing. You've got 4 cylinders that are almost at the top of their stroke, and 4 cylinders that are almost at the bottom of their stroke if you place this crankshaft in the right position, which basically, you know, lines up with that right there. So there's your two 4-cylinder engines coupled together. Anyhow, I just thought this was interesting. I hope you guys enjoy it. Keep watching my videos. And, one more thing. I might as well add this to it. So we've got a bolt right here. And this is the bolt to nowhere. So if I take this bolt out, nothing bolts to it, nothing attaches to it. Not normally. There might be some applications. There's some applications where the motor mount used to bolt here and here on this engine when it was first designed. Like my 55 Chevy, it has motor mounts here and there. But later in the production of them, they started putting the motor mounts on the side right there. So there's those 3 bolts there that mount the motor mount in the frame. So they use these four bolts on the front for motor mounts for years. But this is the only one that has a bolt in it now. When they came with a more modern design and they started putting the motor mounts on the side of the engine, this is the only one that kept a bolt in it. And I'm wondering if you guys can tell me why that bolt is there. So if you know why that bolt's there, and I'm telling you right now, that bolt has to be there. In every small block engine, this bolt has to be there. Even if it bolts to nothing, it still has to be there. In this engine that I took out of this Chevelle, that bolt was not used for anything. As far as I know, it's never been used for anything, but it's there. So why is there a bolt in that bolt hole with nothing to bolt to it? Anybody know? If you know, comment below. Give me your opinion. Tell me what you think, and we'll see how many of you are right. All right, guys. That's it for now. I appreciate you watching, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned. We're going to keep working on this engine. We're going to keep working on my 48 Chevy truck over here. It's ready for the blasters. They're coming this weekend, and we're going to, I'm going to try to, I don't know if I can do it or not. I'm going to try to hook up to the internet here. I've tried it once before, and it didn't work very well, but supposedly my brother's got better internet now. So I'm going to try to live stream that. So if you're around on Sunday and you want to log into YouTube and hook up my channel, then, or turn on that notification bell if you want to. And on Sunday, I'm not sure what time the guy's going to be here, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to sandblast this truck, and we're also going to sandblast this Triumph back here behind me that you see, the 64 Triumph. It was a nightmare. I've done a lot of work on that thing too. Replaced a lot of sheet metal I wasn't supposed to replace, but you know, it needed to be done, and I kind of wish I'd have videoed it at the same time, but I've been so busy with this one, it's hard to make videos and do the work at the same time. So I just made videos on this one, but I mean, that's an interesting project. It would have been cool to do it separately, but it's done now. Well, at least as far as what I'm going to do is done. But I mean, I could do a walk around on it. You know, maybe we'll do that on Sunday whenever it gets ready to get blasted. We'll do a walk around on it. So anyhow, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you later. Bye.